Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Lee Cara, and this is Unleash Your Light right here at the Akashic Academy. It is a Thursday morning at 10 a.m. here on the East Coast, and I think it's June 7th. June 7th, y'all. Can you believe it? I'm going to take just a moment. Make sure that we are live, that we are cooking with fire. I'm also going to take a moment and I'm going to share this out with some of my friends, and I hope that you'll share out with some of your friends. We have a very controversial show today. Trust is one of these topics that every time I talk about it, people fall off. Some people are not happy with my take on trust, but stick with me, y'all. I promise you, by the time that we get to the end, you're going to see how unconditional love can help you transform what you believe trust is and how you trust those people in your life. So I definitely want to just take a moment to share this out. And like I said, I hope that you will share it out with your friends as well, especially people that you know that tend to have the same thing happen to them over and over again, that tend to have their trust broken over and over again, that tend to have these issues. Maybe that's you, or maybe that's someone that you know. But either way, definitely share this out with them. I hope y'all are having a great week. Here where I'm at in Virginia, the school year is almost over, and my freshman, he's my youngest, he is so excited to be at the end of the school year. Make sure that you jump in and tell me that you're here. Say hello. I am happy to say hello back to you. And I'm just so excited to be here every Thursday. After this, I'm going to be on my couch for a little bit, and we will chitty chat a little bit more. I have a particular topic that I want to talk to you guys about on the couch after this. There we go. All right. Well, welcome to everyone who's here. And our topic today on Unleash Your Light is all about trust. And this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. And like I said, every time I talk about trust, I have people that kind of they get very upset. Hi, Tanya, nice to see you. They get very upset with me. They get very triggered. They get very emotional about it. Here's a disclaimer. Are you ready? If you find yourself getting triggered, if you find yourself getting upset, if you want to turn this off and go, oh, screw that chick, she doesn't know what she's talking about, save this video for later. Save this video for later. And here's why. When something gives us a strong reaction, it's because of an unhealed place in us. Hi, Cheryl, welcome. It's because of an unhealed place in us. And so if you have a strong reaction, negative or positive, to what I'm saying, if you get to a point where you're like, nope, I'm turning this chick off, I cannot deal with what she's saying, save me for later. Save me for a time when you can sit and listen and figure out why what I'm saying hits you in the gut so hard. Because that's exactly what trust does. Trust hits us in the gut, doesn't it? Trust is one of those things that really can put a huge negative, horrible impact on our relationships. And not just on the relationships that we have now, but also on relationships that we will have in the future. Hi, Tony, welcome. Woohoo, New Zealand. Also on the relationships, hi, Josephine, welcome. The relationships that we have in the future. If you don't know how to trust, if you aren't able to trust, I think we all understand the concept of trust. But if you aren't able to actually trust in your relationships, and not just your romantic relationships, but in your friendships, in your family relationships, even in working relationships at your job, if you aren't able to trust, it will affect everything that happens moving forward. Hi, Jim, welcome. It will affect everything in your future. It will affect the type of relationship that you attract. Because as we know, the universe likes to send us people into our lives who reflect those parts of us that still need to be healed, right? So if you have issues with trust, 2 a.m. on a Friday morning. There you go, Tony. She's partying with us. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. If you have issues with trust, the universe will send you people who will betray you. The universe will send you people who break that trust. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Dee. Because that's what our beautiful universe does. It gives us these opportunities to overcome and to heal those parts of us inside that need healing, right? And so if your trust needs healed, then you will be sent people who will betray your trust. And so you create this cycle of mistrust in your life. You will attract partners who will lie to you, who will steal from you, who will betray you, whatever it is that your little tick, that your little pattern is in your life. If you notice in your life, you have the same people, the same types of situations coming over and over and over again, right? Hi, Preeti, welcome. And this is because those are those places that are unhealed in us. Those are those spots that we have to pay attention to. And that's why I'm saying to you, if something I say makes you mad, makes you triggered, makes you go, no, she's wrong 100%, and you want to turn it off, save me for later. Save me for a time when you can sit with this and think it over and go, how am I co-creating these situations in my life where I am betrayed? Oh, look, my co-star. That's my co-star cue. How am I co-creating this? I did a show maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you can scroll through, called Life is a Masterpiece. Thank you, Tony. And we're creating our own masterpiece. So if you think about an artist who paints, when you look at their painting, something like Munch with the scream, you can see the torture. Good morning, Andrea. You can see the torture in his soul when you look at the painting, the scream. And then you look at a painting like by Bob Ross or a painting by Monet with the beautiful flowers and stuff. And they're reflecting that energy that's inside of them on the world that they create on the canvas. And we do exactly the same thing in our lives. So if the energy that you have inside of you is mistrust, is that refusal to allow people to get close, then that is exactly what you are creating in your life. It's what you're attracting to you. So let's talk about trust. Here we go. Okay, so trust is something that you want to have between yourself and another person where you don't have to question what they're doing. You don't have to question what they're saying. You believe what they tell you 100%, and you accept the way that they present themselves to you as authentic, right? Now, here's the kicker. A lot of us have been lied to. A lot of us have been betrayed. A lot of us have been hurt time and time again. And so we start to build a wall. We start to put up conditions. They have to get past 2 months before I let them see me this way. They have to get past 3 months before I tell them about XYZ. Before I open my heart to someone, I have to do this, that, and the other, and they have to show me that I can trust them. Good morning, Elizabeth. So here's the big controversial thing that I say. Trust cannot be earned. Trust cannot be earned. Trust is a choice. Trust is a choice that you make. And here's why I say that. Somebody can be perfectly well behaved and do everything correctly in your relationship for 20 years and then betray your trust. They earn that trust, but you're still getting hurt. And someone can be in a relationship for 2 days and betray your trust, whether they earned it or not. Because someone betraying your trust is never about you personally. It's never about you. Although you attracted the lesson to be learned by that betrayal. And a lot of people disagree with me. I go into every situation with an open heart. I go into every relationship with my walls down. And it takes practice to do that. And here's why, though. Because of this amazing mechanism that the universe has for bringing us lessons. If I had my walls up, I would not be able to experience the lesson that someone is bringing me in a fully authentic way. What I would be experiencing is another layer of my own wall and my own protection and my own blocking of love, my own blocking of experience. And this is why I go into everything open-hearted. This is why I go into everything wide open. And yes, it does mean that I get hurt. And it does mean that people kick me in the teeth, that people take advantage of me, that people will hurt me. And yet, I learn so much every time that it happens. And what happens as I move forward in these experiences is that I learn who to bring into the circle, who it is that I bring into my life, who I choose to engage with on that level, right? Where trust is necessary. Because unconditional love is always there. I can love you unconditionally and choose not to get into bed with you, to choose not to do business with you. I choose not to have a friendship in that way with you, even though I love you unconditionally, even though I know you because we're connected, right? I choose not to get into that type of a relationship. The more that you allow yourself to have these experiences where you get hurt, the quicker you learn how to trust. And the quicker you will see people for how they're presenting themselves. Thank you, Tony. And this is not to judge people. If you choose not to be in a friendship, in a relationship, in a business relationship with people, and you choose that, that is not saying that you're judging the other person. You're choosing that out of love because you understand that what they are doing, that the lies, the betrayal, the unreliability, that they are showing you, that they are experiencing in the world is about their journey. And you don't have to walk with them in a way that puts their burden onto you. Now, when you're in a relationship with someone, this is a little bit more difficult when you're already there. Okay. So I'm talking right now about people that are coming into your life. I say, welcome them open-hearted and keep your eyes open for the lesson. And if they display to you something that you recognize, hey, that's not something that's okay with me, then you just choose not to be in that trusting relationship in that way. Don't we all have friends that we'll chat with, we'll talk with, we'll, as Teresa says, kiki with, but you may not share your heart with them in a way where you would be worried that they would go out and tell people or that they would use it against you. Because you recognize that when they are hurt, that's how they lash out. So you might choose not to engage with them in that way, right? We all know people like that. We all know people at work that maybe are known for taking someone's work, taking credit for this, taking credit for that. Maybe that's not the person that you're going to choose to team up with because you choose not to have that trust with them. Doesn't mean that you don't still have unconditional love with them. Doesn't mean you can't still be friendly with them, right? But we're choosing trust. We're choosing it. And you can also choose not to. You can choose not to engage. Just as when you forgive, you can choose at that point, I forgive you, but I'm no longer going to be involved with you on that level. I would say it's not earning trust. It's about us. See, when we put the word earning trust or building trust, it's about what is the other person doing to show me that they're trustworthy. It puts it on the other person. When we talk about learning the signs, learning the lessons, getting this stuff so that we recognize it, we put it back on ourselves, which is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. It's always about us. And that may sound like a selfish thing to say. I've done whole shows on self-care is not selfish, but it is about us and our experience in this and how we choose to go through and the things that we choose to do. Okay, so when we're in a relationship with someone already, right? Trust is a choice. Hi, Tina, welcome. Trust is a choice that we make. And I know this firsthand. I was in a 20-something year marriage. We're separated now. And it was a constant infidelity on his part. And yet, every time I chose to trust him and forgive him 100%. When you choose trust, you have to commit to it 100%. Thank you, Tony. You have to commit to it 100%. You cannot take it out of your bag of tricks every time you fight. See what you did. See this? You cannot throw it in their face. You cannot snoop. You cannot go digging for what you think might be true behind what they're saying. And it is a tough thing to do. But it's just like the conditioning. It's just like the deprogramming that we do about loving ourselves, about committing to ourselves, where you have to counteract it, right? Now, here's the thing. You might be wrong. That person might be lying to you. That person might be cheating on you. That person might be betraying you. But you are doing the right thing by trusting. So when your trust is broken in a relationship, of course, the first thing you need to do is figure out how to forgive that. Is to forgive that and to understand that what they did was not about you. It was about them. It was about their journey. It was about what they're going through. And yes, you're the one that gets hurt by it. Yes, we're the ones who take the brunt of it when somebody betrays us, when somebody hurts us. And it is heartbreaking. And we do feel it right in our gut. We feel it right in our gut, in our heart, in our solar plexus. I know I get this big pit feeling right here that just feels like a giant black hole sucking everything in when I get hurt. At that point, when your trust is betrayed, now the ball is in your court. And it's up to you to decide, if I forgive this person, can I trust them again right away? Can I choose to trust them? Because no one can earn your trust. No one can earn your trust. That's like a false sense of security to think, well, give me all your passwords and tell me everything you're doing and call and check in every 2 minutes. That's not earning your trust. That's you policing. That's you controlling a situation, When you are betrayed, it is now your choice to trust that person again or not. We all have to forgive it, or else it festers, right? But it is then your choice to decide, is this a deal breaker, as Dr. Phil says? Is this a deal breaker for me? Am I a person who only gives one chance? And if you betray me, I'm not doing it again. That in and of itself is a whole other lesson, is a whole other situation for you, because you might have people come into your life over and over again who do that because of your level of, I don't trust you now, you're out. I don't get second chances, you're out. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different story. But when you are in a relationship and you are betrayed, you must choose whether to trust or whether to let go. And it is a difficult thing to do. And it can destroy a relationship. And we sit back and we say, well, they did it, not me. They're the ones that broke my trust. They're the ones that lied. They're the one that cheated. They're the one that did this, that, and the other. And they're going to pay. I'm going to make them pay for a little while. And then I'm going to watch them real close. And then I'm going to police everything they're doing. And they have to earn my trust back. Okay, so how long does that take? A year, a month, 6 years? Like I said, the end of that 6 years, they can do it again. They could have been doing it the whole time and you just didn't see it. Maybe they got better at hiding it. Hi, Christy, welcome. This is why trust is a choice. It's not something that can be earned by anyone. It is a choice that you make, a choice that we make so that we can have a strong, loving, unconditional relationship with someone. And it's a hard thing to accept because we don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be hurt. And yet I know that each time I am hurt, I'm going to use it for my highest good. I'm going to use it to learn from. And when I learn whatever it is that the universe is telling me by bringing me these lessons and these reflections of my inner self, I know they're going to bring me something different. They'll bring me a different lesson. Maybe they'll bring me a different type of trust lesson. I don't know. All I know is that for me to learn, I have to be open. For you to learn, you have to be open to these lessons. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to open your heart and open your mind to this person that you're bringing into your life, or to this person that you already have in your life. Or you have to really reevaluate where you are. I was able over and over again to forgive to the point that I let it go each time, because I had so much unconditional love and I saw so clearly the dysfunction in my partner, and I thought I deserved to be hurt. I forgave him repeatedly because I thought I deserved what he was doing. And I thought that my salvation came in forgiving him because that would show that I was a good person. But our salvation does not come through another person, by saving someone else. Our salvation comes from within, from our own validation, from that divinity that's inside every single one of us. Sorry, I need a sip from my giant head-sized cup of tea here. This is a very difficult topic, and it is a very touchy topic because trust is something that goes to the core of love, of romantic love, of friendship, of family relationships. And for some people, once that trust is broken, it can't be fixed. There's a Britney Spears song called Shattered Glass, where it talks about how our love is like shattered glass, because you can't put glass back together once it shatters. And whatever you do put together is going to look different. But if you're able to trust again, that difference is going to be a positive difference for you. That difference means that you've moved forward and that you've learned, and that the new thing that you've built is going to be stronger. Each time that we go through these betrayals, each time that we get hurt, if we open ourselves up to feel the pain, to dig into why it's happening. And I don't mean the motivations of your partner, that they wanted this or they wanted that and they did this and they did that. I mean your motivations. What part did you play in it? We have to own that 100%, even if the other person was the one that stepped out. Maybe you emotionally drop back. Maybe there is something with your relationship, and I talked about this on Romantic Relationships, the show before this, last week, where your dysfunction fits in with their dysfunction and makes a perfect yin-yang, right? Maybe your dysfunction fits into theirs. Mine did. I thought I deserved to be hurt. I thought I deserved to be cheated on. I thought I was ugly and horrible and repulsive. And so every time that he stepped out with another woman, it reinforced my core belief. And he thought he didn't deserve me because he thought I was wonderful. And so he would sabotage. Figure out how your issues fit together and how that affects your trust for them. When we do this in a relationship where both sides are willing, when we do this in a situation where the other person is open to this type of a conversation, to this type of learning, you are both going to grow stronger. Hi, Shirley, welcome. You are both going to go stronger. You are both going to expand. And sometimes that expansion means that you go in different directions. Sometimes realizing that you cannot trust your partner fully means that you have to choose to step away from them. And it can be a very hard thing. It can be a very sad thing. When it's a family member, you may choose, oh, Uncle Dave comes over and he always steals the china. You may choose not to trust Uncle Dave anymore, so you don't allow him to come to your house. But you don't let him come over and over again to build your trust and watch him and put cameras on him and have a tail on him so that somebody's constantly, over his shoulder. Because that's not trust. That's not a loving relationship. That's you trying to be in control of what happens. And if you're here, then you know that we have to surrender. We don't really have control in our lives like that. Trust. It's a very difficult topic. It's a very difficult topic. I posted on my wall a show that I did. I actually did it a year ago about trust and expectations. And it really gets to the heart of this. I talk for a whole hour instead of just my little half-hour bit here. I really talk for a whole hour about this. Trust is a choice. Trust is a choice that we make. Nobody can earn your trust. Nobody can earn your trust. It is a choice. And you trust 100% or you don't trust. And that's your choice to make. That's your choice to make because you can still be friendly with someone. You can still have a friendship with them. You can still work with them. You can still interact with them. You can still be family with them if you don't trust. It is a very fine line to walk. But unconditional love allows us to do this. Having that unconditional love for someone and that empathy allows us to do this because we understand to our core that when that person is betraying us, that it's not personal against us. We may have attracted the lesson to be betrayed, but their actual betrayal is not personal about us. It is about their own pain, their own issues, their own journey, the things that they are going through. And when they do that, they're going to have their own personal hell in their minds. They're going to have their own way of self-punishment. They're going to go into their own spiral of issues over what they have done. Because it's probably a pattern in their life too, that they might have been trying to break for years. And they hope that you would be the one to break it. But what did we learn? What do we know? The other person is never what saves us. The other person is never what heals us. It is always us and our own self-awareness and our own willingness to own those dark places and to love them and to give them a kiss and to heal them. That's what makes us healthy. That's what saves us. That is where our salvation is found. So hopefully you have a partner in your life, or a friend in your life, or coworkers in your life. It is hard to do with coworkers, to trust them. And you may not trust all your coworkers, but hopefully you will be open to all of them. And you will learn, or have learned, those signs and those things that you'll recognize. And as you move forward, like I said, once you start to heal that trusting place, the universe is going to bring you trustworthy people. That's just how it works. The more you heal that spot in you that doesn't trust and that puts the walls up, the more trustworthy people will come into your life. Because when you put up those walls, it not only protects you from pain, but it blocks love. It stops you from receiving unconditional love from others. And the unconditional love that we receive from others is like the universe giving us a hug. It's like God giving us a physical reinforcement of how much they love us, how much we are loved. Because the ethereal energy can't give us a physical hug, but our best friend can. And that's like the universe expressing itself to us. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm over my time. I always push up on my time, but right after this show, I'm going to sit down on my couch. We're going to talk a little bit about trust, but I want to address something that's happening in our society here in America. Know your value. Knowing your value and our role as females, no offense, men, our role as females and how that's being eroded and how we have to stand up. We have this Me Too movement. We have, female empowerment. We have equal pay, all this kind of stuff. And yet it's being erased slowly but surely because those attitudes from the past that women are less than is raising its head. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Affirmations are techniques to overcome trust issues. Josephine, the only thing that I can tell you is empathy for what the other person is going through. And every time that you have a thought, if you choose to trust someone and you say, okay, I'm going to trust them. Every time that a thought comes in your head that says, what are they doing? They're 5 minutes late from work. And you're immediately saying, they must be on the phone with some girl. They must have stopped to gamble. They must be off doing this. You put a stop to it and you say, no, I trust them. That's not what's happening. It's deprogramming. It's deprogramming because the conditioning of a lifetime, the conditioning of our pain and suffering gets these recordings in our head. And when the recording is triggered by something that happens in trust, it starts to play automatically. Just like when somebody says to you, oh, you look pretty today. For many of us, our first response is, no, God, why do they say that? That's not true. Don't say that to me. They get very upset about it. And the automatic playback in their head is triggered by someone giving them a compliment. And they start to go into, they're lying to me. I'm so ugly. They're just being nice. This is stupid. Da, da, da. You start to do that playback, right? You start to have that recording run. It's the same way with trust. It's a habit to not trust. And so to reverse that habit, you have to be self-aware. And every time you catch yourself doing it, you say the opposite. No, I trust them. That's not what's happening. No, I trust them. That's not what's happening. And like I said, you could be wrong. Maybe it is happening. Hi, Elaine. Maybe it is happening. But you are doing the right thing by trusting. You are doing the right thing. It's about you and your choices and how you react. And if that person did wrong, it's not a reflection on your choices to trust. It just means that now you have an opportunity to explore this and to learn something. It's very difficult and it's so painful to have it happen over and over again. But I see it in my own life as a pattern that is not repeating itself because I'm learning through these experiences and I attract a different lesson. Like I said, this is one that triggers people. This is a hard one. And people really, because it's very emotional. It's very personal. When somebody hurts us, we take it like they punched us in the face. Sometimes they did punch us in the face. Trust. Ting. Trust. Okay, now I'm really over. So let's do some business. This has been Unleash Your Light right here on the Akashic Academy. You can always find me at my group Unleash Your Light, at my page Unleash Your Light, and at unleashyourlight.org. I have a website. Both of my books are out there in PDF form for free. They're very simple books, 30 to 40 pages long, about unleashing your light and about loving yourself unconditionally and overcoming those obstacles that keep us from embracing that divinity within us. Because when we embrace the divinity within us, when we integrate with that energy, we are in the act of becoming the I am energy. And when we integrate it with the human, that's when the magic happens. Okay, so we are watching this on the public page of the Akashic Academy. But there is a secret page. There is an exclusive group that is only for paying members. It's $11.11 a month, $100 a year. But you're going to get so much more content on the inside. So Emily, our director, does guided meditations, full moon ceremonies, new moon ceremonies. She does channeling. Then we have Coach Nick, who comes in and does Mindful Mondays, as well as all kinds of different coaching. And we are on the verge of opening a brand new website and a brand new spot. Good morning, Joyce. And a brand new way. So this is the time to join because there's going to be big stuff happening. I'm so excited and so honored that Emily asked me to come and be a part and share this with all of you guys. So you can go to askyourrecords.com and click on the Akashic Academy, and it will give you all the information on signing up. $11.11 a month, $100 a year. That's a bargain. I'm a bargain shopper, y'all. So that's a good one for me. I am here every Thursday at 10 a.m. right here on the public page of the Akashic Academy. Please share this with your friends. Please feel free to comment. I always go back in and respond to the comments. If you have something you want to chat with me directly with, you can reach out to me. Right now, I'm going to go and sit on my couch. I also broadcast on Tuesdays on Sology and on my page. I was on Wednesday. I was on Tuesday with Christy Warnick. So you can scroll down, and we actually did she did some energy clearings for self-love and self-forgiveness and all this kind of stuff. It was a really great show. I had such a good time with her. Later today, normally Rena is on with the Rainbow Bridge. She is on vacation. Rena, I hope you're having a great time. Later tonight, there's going to be Andrea Stepnowski, and she is going to be doing Sacred Chakra Flow. She's got all kinds of great information on crystals and your chakras, and she's absolutely amazing, y'all. So I hope you will tune in. It is 7 o'clock Eastern time. We have great stuff all week here at the Akashic Academy. I'm going to go sit on my couch for another 20 or 30 minutes. So I hope that you guys will join me. Just come and find me, Lee Cara. I think I'm the only one on Facebook, which is pretty darn amazing, honestly. In a world this big, like 1 billion users, I think I'm the only one. So I love you guys so much. Mwah. And I will see you right here at the Akashic Academy next week on Thursday. And I love you guys so much.